A reading from the letter of Paul to the Hebrews. Brothers and sisters, in times past, God spoke in partial and various ways to our ancestors through the prophets. In these last days, He has spoken to us through the Son, whom He made heir of all things, and through whom He created the universe, who is the refulgence of His glory, the very imprint of His being, and who sustains all things by His mighty word. When He had accomplished purification from sins, He took His seat at the right hand of the Majesty on high, as far superior to the angels, as the name He has inherited is more excellent than theirs. For to which of the angels did God ever say, "You are my Son, this day I have begotten you"? Or again, "I will be a father to him, and he shall be a son to me"? And again, when He leads the firstborn into the world, He says, "Let all the angels of God worship Him." The word of the Lord.
Our second reading on this Christmas Day comes from the letter to the Hebrews, the beautiful opening lines of the letter to the Hebrews. We have been reflecting on the question, who is Jesus? Who is this child that is born to us and is the cause of our celebration? In the first reading, we see from the prophet Isaiah that Jesus is the God, the King, who comes to His people to restore them, to heal them, to save them, and to show them the glory of God. In the second reading, we are told that in ages past, God spoke through the prophets. But now, in these final days, God will speak to His people in a special way. Why? Because He will now speak to us through His Son. The Son who shares in His glory, who possesses the very glory of the Father. The Son who is the exact image of the Father. These are ways of saying that the Son is truly God, truly divine, sharing in the very nature and splendor of the Father. And this Son, as truly God, possesses power. Through Him, all things were created. So this is the eternal Son, for it is through this Son that God the Father is able to create everything that exists. And according to the letter to the Hebrews, everything is sustained. Everything. All parts of creation, especially us human beings, we are sustained by the power of the Word of the Son of God. And in the proper time, this Son of God suffered death, but in His resurrection, He sits at the right hand of the Father. He is glorified with the Father, and now is revealed as far superior to the angels. My dear brothers and sisters, these are the lofty words of the letter to the Hebrews regarding Jesus, who is born. Yes, He is truly human. Yes, as a baby in the manger, He must have cried, He must have shouted, He must have shivered in the cold. He must have been consoled by the warmth of the embrace of Mary. Yet, with the eyes of faith, with contemplative eyes, we should see in this humble baby, wrapped in swaddling clothes, the very Son of God, in whom God is speaking His most precious and final word, because He, the Son, is the Word of God. We owe to this Son, who is Word, our existence. We owe to this Son and His Word the power that sustains us in life and in history. And if we rely on the prayers and the intercessions of angels and the great men and women who have fulfilled God's will, we know that there is someone greater than the angels, Jesus the Son. My dear brothers and sisters, on Christmas Day, we are given the most precious gift, Jesus Himself. God seemed to have poured everything that He could give to humanity in Jesus, His only Son. He has given to us not just someone who could do something for us, but He has given to us His very self, His precious Son, His precious Word. And this man, who is the representation of God's glory and being far superior to angels, is now one of us, a human being. Except in sin, He shares everything that human beings experience. Open your contemplative eyes. Look to Jesus. See the Son of God in this humble baby.